World. This is Randy Jakeway. A lot of people call me Doc J for short. My father's name is Randy, but not just also because I'm focused on environmental issues. I'm a graduate from the University of Minnesota with a Bachelor of Science in Scientific and Technical Communication. I have studied abroad in countries such as Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. In these countries where I studied, I did a lot of work with marine issues. Biological. One of the issues was finding sustainable practices and conservation for many of the marine life in the Caribbean area. A lot of the problems that we have or faced are by pollution. One of the biggest caused by air pollution and fossil fuels. The fossil fuels that go into our water system eventually affect everything in the marine life. That includes the algae all the way down to the coral reefs. When I was studying in Bonaire, I found out that a lot of the issues that we face dealing with marine problems are coming from overfishing and the fact that people just are not speaking up and caring about certain things and practices that need to be changed. Some of these things that need to be changed are finding ways to not overfish. Overfishing is causing a lot of problems because it knocks the whole sequence of the whole overall food chain out of order. When you overfish one particular fish that could be a keystone fish, such as a shark, and some of the sharks in the Caribbean and throughout the areas, what happens is those sharks that die off, well, the sharks are there to eat certain creatures. Now, if they're not there to eat certain animals or certain creatures that are there, well, what happens is the next cycle of creatures gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and they get more populous, and then therefore they can become a predator to another species, and that species in return becomes a predator to another one, and it keeps going down and down and down to where we're losing the focus of the food chain, or the whole cycle of the focus of the food chain. But even with that being a problem, we know that there's even bigger concerns that I'm here to share. And the bigger concerns are the local issues. The local issues stemming from bullying. And I know people are quite maybe confused right now what I mean by bullying, but what I mean by bullying is that when we are teaching our kids or other kids are teaching other kids how to mistreat each other, then in return, how do we really know how to focus on treating the environment? Well, I have to say, if we can't treat each other right, how are we going to treat the environment right? So it starts locally. It starts locally in our homes. It starts locally in our schools. It starts locally with ourselves. So before we can even make any difference, we have to change the way we do things so we can teach others how to be better and do better things, like conserving energy and finding better ways to treating our water. Now, I am a graduate, like I said, of the University of Minnesota, but I did grow up in Seattle, Washington. I was a graduate from Kent Meridian High School, and now I currently live here in Minnesota, but I do travel back and forth to home to visit family when applicable. At this moment, I'm looking to do some more research with marine events that's going on and finding better ways and better solutions to conserving our energy and finding better ways to let the local government know that change is needed. But the only way that can happen is that we have to mobilize more people who is on board with the environmental movement. Because the environmental movement is just not something where we can just sweep under the rug. Because the environmental movement is not just affecting us human beings, it's affecting every species here on this earth. We must be that voice for these species that have no voice. That's why I'm here. I'm here to share that. I'm here to share my own testimony. I'm here to share my life of gratitude and of thanks for me being here to even share this. Because I know that there's many people out there in the world that want to share these type of events and type of things, but they don't know how to do it. And maybe this opportunity where I can bring it to the world and showcase this, we can get other people involved in the process of making change happen. Now, there's more to just wanting to make change happen. You have to actually go out there and do it. Well, doing it is communicating what needs to be done. And it's also a political thing. So we must get with other politicians and other political leaders, and we must form some type of lobbyist group or some type of grouping where we are focusing on not just the political concerns of economics geared towards making things better for us, but now let's focus on the environmental things that can be made better for our overall aspects of our world, which is more on a global state as we look at it. Because as we are on the internet or on our palm phones, which is on the internet, I mean, we have the world literally in the palm of our hand. So there's so many changes that can be made even on our phones and how we do that. For instance, if all of us all over the world would just stop buying cell phones every 2 years, that would help out greatly with reserving our resources for making these phones. Or if we found a better way to recycle things or utilizing other type of battery usage, then we wouldn't have to go around and buy new batteries like we have for our phones or for our computers or other electronic devices. There's so much that can be done. There's so much more that can be said. And if you need anybody to express those things and you would like me to come talk about some of the concerns, whether it be environmental, whether it be social, whether it be political, I'm at your availability. So feel free to contact me anytime that you need or you want somebody to come share a testimony or come share a form of passion that I have as far as with the rest of the world pertaining to the environmental issues that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. A lot of us, at times, we just don't know that we're dealing with environmental issues, because we wake up every day and we think that the stuff that we're doing, which this is all we know, a lot of us, is right. But in actuality, it has really nothing to do with the fact that what's right and what's wrong. It's the fact that we just got to change the way we do things. We're not in this industrial revolutionary period. We're in a new stage of technology. We're in a new stage of infrastructure where it could be actually making a world more coming together on the same page as unity and as a balance. We could make a difference more than we could ever in any other futuristic time that we're living in now. Because we are truly living in the future, because where we take this, what we do now, will dictate our future. The past has already dictated the present. So we must be the ones to change our future. Thank you.